Okay, so we'll specifically present two properties of homogeneous Poisson process. Of course, order statistic property is one of them that already been presented. Two more property. One is called superposition of homogeneous Poisson processes. Another is called thinning of homogeneous Poisson processes. But before we get there, I would like to start with an example first. In this process, actually, we'll see many examples of Poisson processes and its applications and their applications. But let's start with one example. Suppose passengers arrive in an airport according to a homogeneous Poisson process with intensity alpha. Now fixed a t positive and a positive integer n. If it is given that exactly n passengers arrived up to time t, what can you say about the number of passengers arriving up to time s, where s is strictly less than t? S is positive, but it's strictly less than t. Now let's try to first interpret the question correctly. So let's make it precise first. Suppose nu is the number of passengers arriving at the airport up to time u. This is true for every non-negative real number u. So then the process nu indexed by non-negative real numbers is a homogeneous Poisson process with rate alpha. The question that is being asked here is essentially, if it is given to you that exactly n passengers arrive up to time t, that is, if it's given to you that nt is exactly equal to n, then what is the conditional distribution of ns, the number of passengers arriving up to time s? But s is something strictly between 0 and t. So this is the question. Now, since s is strictly less than t, if it is known that nt takes the value n, ns cannot take any value bigger than n, because we know that ns has to be less than or equal to nt. So, of course, on the other hand, ns is a non-negative integer valued random variable. There's a number of phone calls. Therefore, the conditional range of ns given nt equal to n would be set of all integers from 0 to n. So that's the first thing that we need to settle. And what we do is we just take a k in this conditional range, and then we would like to compute the conditional probability of ns equal to k given nt equal to n. As simple as that. So let's try to compute this. So quickly recall, nu is so forget about the actual question. We have been able to reduce it to this problem in Poisson process. You start with a homogeneous Poisson process with rate alpha. You fixed a real number t, positive real number t, and a positive integer n, and also fix a number s which is strictly between 0 and t. Yeah, a positive number s strictly less than t. Given nt equal to n, what is the conditional distribution of ns? So far, we have only observed that the conditional range of ns given nt equal to n is the set of all integers from 0 to n. Now fix one integer k in this conditional range, and then observe that we have to compute this conditional probability, which is by definition equal to probability of ns equal to k and nt equal to n divided by probability of nt equal to n. As simple as that. This is just from their definition. Now we have done it quite a few times. We'll do it again. Is that ns and nt are unfortunately not independent. So therefore, it's harder to compute the joint distribution of ns and nt. However, it's easier to compute if it's ns and nt minus ns. That is a number of phone calls from 0 to s and number of phone calls from s to t. These two things are actually independent. So let's just rewrite everything in terms of that. Observe that this event is same as this event. So ns equal to k and nt equal to n happens if and only if ns equals k and nt minus ns equals n minus k. these two events happen are equivalent. So therefore, they have the same probability. So therefore, these two quantities are equal. Now, we use the independence of ns and nt minus ns. This is the independent increments property that we are going to use again. So we'll get this, that this joint probability becomes product of the marginal probabilities. Once we have reduced it to marginal probabilities, now it's time to use the fact that the increments are actually Poissonian. Okay? They're stationary and Poissonian. In particular, ns follows a Poissonian distribution with parameter alpha times s, and nt minus ns follows a Poisson distribution with parameter alpha times t minus s. On the other hand, nt follows a Poisson distribution with parameter alpha times t. So if you use all of them, you're going to get these probabilities. This is the probability that Poisson distribution with parameter alpha times x takes the value k. This is the probability that a Poisson random variable with parameter alpha times t minus s takes the value n minus k. And this is the probability that a Poisson random variable with parameter alpha times t takes the value n. Now you see, just like before, exponential, whatever is there, actually is going to get cancelled. Because this multiplied by this is just e power minus alpha t, which is going to get cancelled with this thing. Therefore, what you would be left with after simplification is n factorial we can take in the numerator. So you'll get n factorial divided by k factorial into n minus k factorial. This one and this one will come here in the denominator. This one, because this is already in the denominator, you will go to the numerator. And then you'll be left with this. By the way, this alpha also will get cancelled. Alpha power k times alpha power n minus k will give you alpha power n, which will get cancelled with this alpha power n. So you'll be left with s power k times t minus s whole power n minus k divided by t power n. This is what you'll be left with. And that is nothing but, this is n choose k. This is, if you rewrite this, you can write is that s by t whole power k into 1 minus s by t whole power n minus k. Okay, this is because you're just writing t power n as t power k times t power n minus k, and then just define it. Okay. And this is true for every integer k between 0 and n. 0 and n are both inclusive here. So if you summarize whatever we have done so far, if nu is a homogeneous Poisson process with rate alpha, and we want to find the conditional distribution of ns given nt equal to n, we first observe that the conditional range of ns is 0 to n. Okay, conditional range of ns given nt equal to n is 0 to n, all the integers from 0 to n. Fixing a k in this conditional range, namely 0 to n, all the integers from 0 to n, we get the conditional probability of ns equal to k given nt equal to n is nothing but n choose k times s by t whole power k into 1 minus s by t whole power n minus k. And this is true for every integer between 0 and n. Both 0 and n are inclusive here. That tells us that given nt equal to n, conditionally ns follows a binomial distribution with parameter n and s over t. Remember, we had fixed n to be a positive integer. So here we assume that at least one phone call is there up to time t. Okay, so therefore this binomial makes sense. So in particular, the conditional expectation of ns given nt equal to n would be n times p, the p is s over t, so n times s over t. Okay. Note that, as I said, we had assumed n to be a positive integer. What if n was 0? If we knew that nt was 0, number of phone calls up to time t was 0, then of course number of phone calls up to time s also has to be 0. So given nt equal to 0, ns is just 0, the 0 random variable conditionally. So therefore, this equation here, 1, also holds when small n is equal to 0. That's because given nt equal to 0, ns is just conditionally the 0 random variable. Therefore, the conditional expectation there also is 0, and that is also going to be the right-hand side if n is equal to 0. So, even though this doesn't come out of this calculation, but this formula is true even when n is equal to 0. So, in particular, this means that, and why am I bothering about it? That is because the unconditional range of nt is number of phone calls up to time t, which is a Poisson random variable, right? Poisson with parameter alpha times t. And the range is set of all non-negative integers. So for set of all non-negative integers, all possible values of n, if this equation is true, that is same as saying the conditional expectation of ns given nt is s by t times nt. This is, again, we have done this kind of calculation over and over again in probability theory 1, I think, and also in 2 we did it with continuous random variables. But this is just a discrete random variable calculation. If you know that the conditional expectation of ns given nt takes the value n is equal to small n times s over t, for every n in the range of the random variable nt, then you actually know that the conditional expectation of ns given nt is just s by t times nt. Okay, so I stressed this that time also, but I'll stress it again. When you write conditional expectation of ns given nt equal to n, is just a number that depends on n. But when you write this thing, it's a random variable. And in this case, it happens to be the random variable nt times s by t. Okay, fine. That means we can take one more expectation. Okay, so but before that, before doing that, okay, so let's first observe that we can bring this nt here. So the conditional expectation of ns over nt, condition on nt is therefore s by t. Okay, because this conditional expectation, since we are taking the conditional expectation with respect to nt should be treated like a constant here, although it's a random variable. But so therefore, when you divide both sides, you're just going to get s over t here. Okay, still conditionally. But now we can take one more expectation. We know that the conditional expectation, if you take one more expectation, that gives you the unconditional expectation. Therefore, the unconditional expectation of ns over nt is just s by t. So in other words, it says that the ratio of number of phone calls up to time s and the number of phone calls up to time t, this is a random variable. This ratio is a random variable, of course, because both numerator and denominator are random variables. But the expected value of this ratio is s by t, which is also the ratio of the lengths of the intervals in which we are counting the number of phone calls. And this is actually a manifestation of homogeneity of the Poisson process. Okay. Okay, so given this exercise, and given that this exercise has been solved completely, I would like to give you another exercise. Fix a non-negative integer n, and also fix positive numbers s1 to sk, all less than t, such that s1 is strictly less than s2, s2 is strictly less than s2, s3, and so on. K of them, you want k of them in this order. Now, given nt equal to n, find the conditional distribution of ns1, ns2, all the way up to nsk. This can be done in a similar fashion. Of course, it's going to be slightly more involved as the one that we just saw.